I could walk into Odyssey headquarters and buy that company in a second.
Buddy, like, look at what we've done in the last 10 years.
Yes.
We're way bigger than you.
That's not an exaggeration now. They're like a penny stock.
I don't like to do that flex, but it's the facts. And he's playing in a decades-old mindset.
He still has this arrogance. How dare you? They should be thanking Eddie, thanking him with every breath in their bone for coming on their airways.
Okay, Barstool Pick'em is brought to you by our friends at DraftKings. College football is back. Don't miss any of the action. Jump in at DraftKings Sportsbook. It's super easy for first-timers to get started. Try betting on something simple like picking a team to win. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, select your team, place your first bet. This is going to be DraftKings' biggest college football season to date. Enjoy the ride now all the way through the expanded playoffs. And all for all you newbies out there getting into college spirit, here's something extra special. New DraftKings customers bet $5, get $250 in bonus bets instantly. So you can also bet our Mortal Parlay, which will be live. Rico, myself, and Dave. We hit it week 1. We went 0 for 3 week 2. We're back to maybe hit it again this week. Score big with DraftKings all college football season. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code PICK. That's code PICK for new customers. Get $250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Okay, Barstool Pick'em week 3. We are back. Dave, your team is dead?
Definitely not. 9-7 second half.
Your team is dead, Dave?
Whole new basically roster, new quarterback, new offensive line, new wide receivers, a lot of new defensive guys. We won the second half 9-7 versus a great Texas team. Now, am I a confident national championship? Would I put my life on the line? No, I wouldn't. The season is week 2. I mean, playoff.
Do you think right now, sitting here, you'll be in the playoffs?
Yes.
You think you can compete with Ohio State?
Yeah. I mean, Ohio State, we haven't seen anything from them yet, and it's weak. The team has to improve.
Your offense stinks.
Yeah, they stink right now.
Okay, so not dead, though.
Do you think that instantly just gets better out of nowhere?
No, I don't think it instantly gets better, but it's week 2. We haven't even played a conference game. So am I going to write off the national champs after a disastrous game versus a veteran-laden, very good national championship caliber Texas team? No. I mean, that quarterback, I bet him to win the Heisman in the first half watching him. So
Quinn Ewers, yeah.
Yeah. So obviously it was a bad game. They got hammered, but it's the second week of the season. There's plenty of time to improve, and they're going to have to, clearly.
Okay, so Rico, the Junkyard Dog has been released. How's that going? So obviously,
good. I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
They just won't answer the phones. It's dial, dial, dial. They won't answer the phones. I've heard they've changed the number. It's brutal. They got Ryders in the chat. Everybody's everywhere. So it's good to have an enemy.
It's rare that when we are in a feud, 100%. What?
It's good to have an enemy.
Yeah.
Rico, It is a very funny thing for Rico to say because he lives
yeah.
with only enemies. That's all he has is enemies.
It is rare that we're 100.
I have no friends?
No.
Come on, Dan. Not one?
You have a couple friends. You're right.
All right.
It's rare we're 100% on the right side of the law. Even people who don't like us are kind of we get their point here.
Yeah.
I did have to put that explanation. By the way, I don't know.
Professionally.
Because
professionally.
I got a text from somebody, and it was where this enemy wives lived and her place of business, and the question was how far do we go?
No.
Now take
Random number?
Take a guess who that came from.
The new dog.
That was 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 the new dog. I had pictures of their house, their their mailbox,
that's
phone numbers, addresses,
Disavow.
and that's when I'm like, I better just once again clarify. I'm talking professionally, flood lines. If they do a live remote, fair
Call
game.
lines.
Don't go to their place where they live. Don't attack siblings. I know that's something you've
You learn from your
dabbled
mistakes.
in Rico. No, keep it on the professional level, and I'm good. So the new dog was ready to go. He was ready. How deep are we going to take this? I think tweets are fair. Like Austin was like, how deep we doing this, when he sent like the tweet he had like about fat women, fat black women. Like, that's fair game. That to me is
That's
fair.
all him. Yeah, he's getting killed Katie Nolan's coming
we-
after him, everybody.
I will say, he hasn't addressed it at all, right? They haven't said a word. It's crazy.
Here's what's going to happen. And for people who missed it, it's Dan Bernstein, radio host here in Chicago, been a radio host for like 2 decades. He had a very popular show, Boers and Bernstein, that was for a long time. Like he actually joked around and it was a good show. His brain has been broken. He's been a curmudgeon. He's hated Barstool for a long time. I've known he's hated us. I don't like him. Eddie went on 670 The Score to do a remote with Spiegel, who we do like. That's the other part of it, Dave. There are certain people, like you can separate it. It's like kind of when BVT happened and people are like, oh, you're going to still be friends with Scott Van Pelt? Yeah, I'm still friends with Scott Van Pelt. Like, there are certain people that you are friends with that are outside of this. Matt Spiegel, who hosts the afternoon show, is one of those guys, and I know his producer, and they had Eddie on. Like, it was nice they had him on. But Eddie simply said Dan Bernstein's last name, Bernstein, asking him a question, and Bernstein flipped out and was like, you don't know me like that, got all tough. But Bernstein's hated Barstool forever, and I've known that. He's taken pot shots at us forever. So professionally, calling in, whatever, don't blur the lines here. Don't do anything outside of professionally. But yeah, he's a jerk.
I think a good way to look at it, if he's on the clock and working, it's probably fair game. If he's off the clock and minding his business at house, not fair game.
Yes, correct. But anyway, this is it's interesting to see this all happen, and the Ryders and Jerry's Army and have the Minifans joined in yet?
I saw something from the Minifans. I think they're definitely aware,
because it is an Odyssey company.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
So yeah.
The first time I tuned in,
Rico's former employee.
Yes,
employer.
true.
Yeah.
I logged on. I'm like, all right, let me get in the mix. And I was trying to call as well, get the numbers. So I listened to it. I knew this guy. The very first word, there's no joke, when I tuned in, was white privilege, which generally, if that's what you're talking about, rightly or wrongly, you hate us. So,
right. And he's a hypocrite about it, because he's got all these tweets in the past, and his show used to be completely different, and he's just like, oh, I wasn't that guy, and Barstool's bad, and everything I've said in the past, oh, I've evolved. It's ridiculous. So,
beyond that,
what do you think
the when he's like, call me Bernstein, what, like that?
Yeah, that's worse.
Maybe the most confusing statement ever made. Like, it's one thing to be like, and Eddie laughed because Eddie couldn't see him and didn't, I guess, know he's serious, but that little clip when he was that disgusted after, he's like, he called me Bernstein, call me Bernsey. That's 1,000 times more like, friendly. Somebody. Yeah.
Right.
The whole thing's crazy. Crazy.
What it comes down to, though, Dave, is, and I told Eddie this, because I knew when he told me he was going on, I was like, oh, that'll be interesting, because I know the history there. Eddie could have said anything, and he would have had that reaction.
Yeah.
Like, if Eddie had called him Dan, he would have been like, you don't know me like that, don't call me my first name. If Eddie had called him Bernsey, you'd have been like, you don't know me like that, call me Bernstein. It didn't matter what Eddie said, the guy was going to be a prick no matter what. And he looks like an idiot. Like, I don't think anyone's defending him. He looks like a fucking moron.
How could you? The only defense, it's not even a defense. The only thing people say is childish for me to be like attacking professionally. I like, this guy deserves it, and it will not rest. At some point, Bosco will get through. At some point, I will get through. Does he ever do live remotes? We will get something across the message. They can't ignore us forever.
How long can he keep the phone lines down?
I've heard that there might be a live remote tomorrow, but they might pull it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's what I've heard. But it's crazy. The whole thing is crazy. It's also unfortunate, not unfortunate, but what's the right word to use here? I guess it's unfortunate for Bernsey to have Dave in the state he is right now, where he's living his best life, and he doesn't have a lot of wars. So when you open yourself up to a war. He's like, this isn't like war times 5 years ago where it was like shooting everywhere, fighting off everyone.
He's got reserves.
He's got reserves, and you got like it's almost like a war out of boredom.
Rested.
Truthfully,
he's rested.
I didn't want to do it. I was relaxing. I'm like, God damn it. And I like go put on, like I go into the closet. There's like dust all over my like machine guns and grenades. Like, all right, here we go. It's like, I don't want to do it. It was so unbelievable. I don't even know how this clip didn't come out right away. Like when I saw it, I'm like, what is this? And Eddie, of all people, I mean, the Pillsbury Doughboys, the nicest guy. You poke him in the belly and he like there's no reason to ever give attitude to Eddie. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, so Eddie had sent me the clip, I think it was on Sunday. I watched it like 10 times because I couldn't understand it because it was that ridiculous. And I said to him, I was like, what's your plan with this? Because like I'm not gonna post the clip on Eddie's behalf if he doesn't want to fight. But then Chuck put it out and it was like, all right, let's go.
Yeah. You know? And then the second clip came out where he's like, he called me Bernstein, whatever. It's just it's such old school like talk radio, thumb your nose up, disgusted that Eddie is on this channel. Odyssey. I could walk into Odyssey headquarters and buy that company in a second. That's not an exaggeration now. They're like a penny stock. Like they've been close to bankruptcy. Like I could literally go in. So it's everything has changed. Like Barstool's very successful. They're a disaster. And it's like that he still has this arrogance. How dare you? They should be thanking Eddie, thanking him with every breath in their bone for coming on their airways.
That's exactly it, Dave. I went on, so I've been doing a hit with Waddle and Sylvie, who are the competing radio station in Chicago for like the last 7-8 years. Those guys are the best. They've been loyal to us throughout everything. But I said it to them, and it's exactly right, Dave. He's in a mindset of like a 2013, where we're a little blog site, and they're a radio station, and radio is still killing it. And he thinks that Eddie is not like, he's not worthy of the opportunity to be on their airwaves. Buddy, like, look at what we've done in the last 10 years.
Yes.
We're way bigger than you. I don't like to do that flex, but it's the facts. And he's playing in a decades old mindset where it's like, Eddie, oh, this blog guy, like, he doesn't deserve to be on our airwaves. Yeah, if Eddie was on your airwaves, he would get way better ratings than you. That's just a fact.
100%.
So
crazy.
I'm
curious to see his next move. Like the next move in that situation isn't, and he's not going to do it, is an instant. I was an asshole. Sorry. That would probably cut the legs out, but they haven't said a word.
No,
is there anything he can do to pull you back, Dave?
Nah, the time is ticking. I mean, a sincere, heartfelt apology, maybe.
His move, Dave. You know his move. He's going to wait. He's not going to say anything, and then he's going to come out and be like, "I've been harassed." And then there's going to be some website's going to pick it up and be like, "The Stoolies did it again," and he's going to play the victim card and rinse and repeat. That's just how it always goes. That's exactly
they were already
what
trying to do
the
that.
The websites that run
announcing.
with those stories aren't really around anymore.
Yeah,
though.
but that's
Awful
exactly
Announcing
how
was already trying to run it today or yesterday.
Who?
Yeah.
Awful Announcing is a website. They had a headline.
Yeah.
That's how this whole thing's gonna play out. Whatever. He's a dick. He like I said, he's taking pot shots. Eddie and I have known he's taking pot shots at us. He's done enough where it's like he takes pot shots, but it's never so direct that we want to respond. But this one was direct. It was in Eddie's face.
How does a guy do sports talk radio and not take calls? Isn't that what they do?
Yeah, I mean they used to. I don't know if
they had
there's
a couple of
thing.
interviews yesterday. I was listening.
Yeah.
They're just
okay.
killing time.
So. That's what's going on right now. The Ryders have been activated. Feels good. That's why we do all these burpees, right?
Yep. It's good to be back. All right, let's take a quick break to tell you about our friends at GameTime. Football season is here, and we can't wait to get out to some games this fall with the help of GameTime, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. You know how much we love GameTime. Now with their brand new GameTime Picks feature, they're making it even easier to get to a game. GameTime Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't waste your time scrolling through thousands of tickets. I was looking at Mizzou, BC. It's the only ranked matchup this weekend. I saw an amazing Game Time Picks deal for $144 for end zone seats. Pull up your chosen event and turn on the GT Picks setting at the top of the screen, or browse the best local Game Time Picks deals near you on your Game Time app homepage. What are you waiting for? I'm going to buy those Mizzou, BC tickets now. with GameTime picks. Download the GameTime app now and use code PICK'EM to easily score great deals with the new GameTime picks. That's PICKEM. What time is it? GameTime.
As for the records, Rico, not a great week. 3-7.
Out.
Did you have a graphic made for your 3-7 week where you were like shooting off the battleship? And
I didn't ask either way to make the graphic, but there was a graphic and I retweeted it. Yeah.
For people who are wondering, when Rico went 8-3 the other week, he had a graphic made that it's like, the Ryders in a battleship, 8-3, best start to pick 'em ever.
A squadron patch.
Yeah, and then we don't get the same when you go 3-7.
There was a graphic. I retweeted it. So I think it's a parachute, a guy falling to his death.
Yeah.
3-7, respectively.
Dave, you went 6-9. You're in last right now, 42%. I went 17-15. Light card for me. I'm at 47%.
I got to talk about that. What was it? Arkansas? That's disgusting that
Crazy.
counted as a loss.
Crazy.
I was off by a field goal. That game was never in doubt. I bet it. I won real money. I don't get credit on the show. Fine. But that line that we got was 7.5. It was 10.
Yeah. I don't know.
If there's integrity in this game, that should be a win, but whatever.
That was an all-time. That one sucked. We all lost our mortals as well.
I won. I won that game in real life. The mortals also sucks because my mortals whatever. I got bullied out of my top 2 mortals. So go ahead.
I thought your mortal was Northwestern. If you could
Illinois.
Oh, my mortal was like never. No one's ever handicapped a game better and then and put themselves in a trap worse than what I did with Utah. When I said on this show, I'm taking Utah -14 and I'm going to bet Utah until Cam Rising gets hurt. They were up 23-0. And Cam Rising got hurt.
Oh, I didn't know that happened.
Yeah, and then they won by 10. Like it was so Zach Wilson's brother is the backup, couldn't hit anyone. It was never. I watched the whole game. Utah was never in doubt to win the game, but it was just like, oh, here we go. Like all second half, they didn't score a point the second half. Baylor would just like, get a little bit closer. Then they scored a couple touchdowns, and that was it. So the handicap was right.
Shout out the Missouri coach. He is playing to cover. I put a pretty big bet on them. I think it was -32.5. They were up 31, got the ball back with about 2.5 minutes on their side of the 50, threw a pass inside the 10-yard line. They ran out of bounds twice. And then they got a first down with 30 seconds, hustled to the line of scrimmage and scored with no time left. Just an absolutely preposterous cover by Missouri. Thank you, Missouri.
Yeah, it was incredible. Rico, what happened this week? What was you had a lot of overs.
I took a lot of overs. I guess I just handicapped it wrong. Not a lot of offense. I thought Colorado-Nebraska was going to go over. Colorado couldn't do a thing.
Can we stop trashing Deion, please? Every time I look, there's an article trashing Deion and his kids that were fucking friends with the guy.
But it's not going well, Dave. You can also say without trashing
a lot of baggage out there.
Without trashing him, because I like Deion and I ride with Deion, you have to also admit it's not going well. When Shedeur sits in front, does his post game, and he's like, "Yeah, freshman mistake by this guy. Offensive line couldn't. How many times did he get sacked? How many times did I?" You gotta. I mean, that's
lighting a fire under their ass.
He wants to play his rap song, not the fucking fight song.
That might not be true, though.
Yeah, that one.
That one is where it's like.
That one might not be true, Rico.
All right, I'm just reading the headlines.
Yeah, exactly, and that's how you ran Fran Fraschilla out of town.
That's true.
That's true.
Just reading
now
a
we're
couple
friends.
Headlines.
Exactly.
Maybe do some research.
Do a little research. Yeah, but Dave, it's not going well.
No.
Yeah, a lot of baggage out there.
I'm just saying, do we have to when everyone's piling on the guy? We have a relationship with him. I know
agree.
how I would look at it. He's gonna be like, "Why is Barstool? I thought we were friends." Fucking, please, enough.
Yeah, I'm not going to trash him. I'm going to admit when it's not going well, and that I thought the post game from Shedeur that wasn't great. If you're a teammate of his, that's not great.
Yeah, well, I mean, block better.
Yeah. Okay. Should we talk about this week? Weird card. Not a lot of ranked matchups, but
I think the two best games are Friday night.
What?
I think the two best games are Friday night.
Well,
two
there's
best games are
there's like the rivalry games that are all
That's-
mashed. I was like, what are we talking about? Oregon or Oregon State, Washington, the
Yeah.
Apple Cup, and like the Civil War,
and backyard brawl. That's
Yeah,
what I was
it's
gonna say.
crazy.
Like it's a crazy week because there's not like a bunch of marquee games, but there's also just some awesome old rivalries. So I actually have six. I have 6 games that we're going to talk about. Rico, you think the best game is Friday night?
I think two compelling games are Friday night with Arizona, Kansas State, and UNLV, Kansas.
You love
good
Kansas
games to
State.
watch.
Yeah, no, I agree. Friday nights can be great. Okay, before we get to the games preview segment this week, DraftKings has a college football parlay profit boost. All you have to do is head to the app, opt into the Barstool Boost, and make your bet. So head to the app now and claim this week's offer. Go right now to DraftKings Parlay Profit Boost. We will also have our Mortal parlay up there. So there's tons of stuff to bet on. It's going to be a great Saturday. Like we said, there's a lot of rivalry games, a lot of big matchups that maybe not ranked, but it's going to be a great slate. So go to DraftKings right now, Parlay Profit Boost. All you have to do is head to the app, opt into the Barstool Boost, and make your bet. Okay. Friday night, Arizona, Kansas State. Kansas State's minus 7.5. Over-unders 59.5. Rico, your Kansas State Wildcats.
Yeah, I haven't loved what I'm seeing. They're in a war with Tulane. I think there's going to be a lot of points in this one. I like Arizona's quarterback. I'm going to take the over. I like the over in this one.
So you're going back to overs.
Yeah, not all of them, but this one for sure.
Okay. Dave?
I think it's a trap game. It screams Arizona to me. Screams Arizona as I'm talking. I have Arizona written down. I'm going to stick with Arizona the over. Absolute square Rico picks here, even though he's got a better record than me. But this screams Kansas State under. To me, it is, yeah, whatever. I'm being a square. Arizona in the over.
I'm going to take Arizona plus 7.5.
It's a square play.
Yeah, probably. But
Avery Johnson hasn't looked great throwing the ball, though.
Yeah, that's why it's a square play, right?
And Tulane should have won that game. It could have won that game. Like, they got
Agreed.
kind of screwed at the end. All right, I'm on Arizona. Saturday, Alabama at Wisconsin. Wisconsin's plus 16, over-unders 50.5. I think it's the largest home dogs we've been since Barry took over in 92 or 93. I am going to this game. I am dreading this game. I have talked myself into a path for Wisconsin to win this game, and I know that is really stupid of me, but I'm going to take Wisconsin plus 16. Here's my path. One, I wish they would move the game tonight. That's part of the path. It should be a night game. It's 11 a.m. Wisconsin does have a very good secondary and linebackers. Our defensive line does not look good. Our offense does not look good. Jalen Milroe against a good secondary could struggle. He's not accurate. And we're going to probably need a defensive touchdown and a special teams touchdown, and then we're going to win. That's my path.
It's a hell of a path.
Bama by 40.
Yeah, I think it's
Bama
pretty
by
ugly.
40. Wisconsin's horrible.
You're horrible.
No, Michigan's better than Wisconsin.
I don't know.
Listen, they're my enemy. I don't like them. My biggest bet of the week was on Ohio State because I knew how good Wisconsin made Western look. I'm like, this Wisconsin team's brutal. And everyone's like, oh, they kind of played Western Michigan tight. I'm like, give me a break. So they're going to lose by 40 this game, minimum. They're going to get absolutely, and I don't know in your path to winning, I don't know that I liked you being like, well, Jalen Milroe can't throw really versus a good secondary, but we don't have a good line. They may just ram the ball down your throat day long.
They don't have elite like Alabama's running backs, like Heisman running backs. But listen, the path
40.
is narrow. I
40.
mean, part of the path was moving the kickoff tonight.
40.
So I'm gonna walk into Camp Randall on Saturday, and I'm already gonna be 0 for 1 on my path.
Yeah,
because I'm gonna walk in at like 10:55.
40. Bama by 40.
Rico,
Yeah,
you
I
got
think it's
Bama?
I do. I think it's a blowout. You didn't see Bama's best effort last week. Maybe they were playing with their food a little bit. Then they turned it into a game in the fourth quarter. You saw what they could do. I'm down on this Wisconsin team. I picked Western Michigan a couple of weeks ago. Dan. And I'm usually high on Wisconsin. I think it's a blowout.
I don't care. You can do whatever you want.
All right.
I'm not gonna stop.
Yeah, but I used to get in your hole with Wisconsin all the time.
Yeah, but it was like, Yeah.
No, I like those teams.
Yeah. Okay. Boston College at Mizzou, ranked matchup. What do we got? Boston College is 16.5-point dogs, over-unders 54.
Tough game.
Bill O'Brien's hell of a coach.
Wisconsin hasn't, Mizzou hasn't given up a point. Or if they have, very few. They haven't played anybody. BC, I'll take the points, but I certainly don't like the game. Are they doing the red bandana?
No, it's at Mizzou.
That's right. They do that at home games. I don't like the game. I'm taking BC, but I'm not touching this game in real life.
I agree with you, Dave. I'm because we picked these games. I'm taking BC just because I think Bill O'Brien will have a good enough game plan to cover a 16.5-point spread, but I don't like it.
And I bet Missouri in that big spread last week. They weren't scoring with ease. That's what made that last touchdown even more amazing. Like, they hadn't scored in the fourth quarter. They really weren't scoring with ease. So 16 points is a lot. BC puts a couple touchdowns on, but Missouri hasn't scored a ton either week. They've just played great defense, but that's a lot. 16's a lot if you're going to give up a touchdown or two.
Yeah. Okay. Rico.
I'll take Missouri. They're 10-2 in the last 12 against the spread. I like that the coach tries to cover. I think this is a game they finally get up for. He's right. He hasn't played anybody. Now you're looking at a little number next to BC. I think they can squish him. I think it's 17. I'll lay it.
Next up, we got the Civil War, which I don't think we're allowed to call a Civil War anymore. Oregon at Oregon State. Oregon State's 16.5-point dogs, over-unders 50. Your Ducks have looked bad.
Rico. Yeah, I'll take Oregon State here. I'll take Oregon State plus the 16.
Yeah, well, what the fuck is this line, right?
Yeah, because Oregon's looked bad. They've needed 2 special teams touchdowns to beat Boise.
No, I know. So how is this 16 points?
I think they're just going off the rating of Oregon before the season. Yep. They're still doing that. Now, the only thing you could say on Oregon's defense is Boise might be better than we thought. They could be the Group of 5 playoff team. The Ashton Genty is unreal, their running back. And Idaho went in and beat Wyoming for the first time in 100 years. So Idaho might be a little bit better than we thought, but still Oregon's looked bad.
Oregon State must be horrible.
Rico?
They put it on San Diego State last week, running the ball. I don't know. It seems like a square, but I'll take the 16 with Oregon State.
Even if Oregon was playing well and up to expectations, this line seems crazy to me, unless you're saying you have an absolutely inept Oregon State team. Oregon State, this is at Oregon State, right?
Yeah.
At Oregon State, yeah.
16 points at home? No. All right. I fell for the trap last time. This makes no sense. None. Zero. I'm taking Oregon. It makes no sense.
You're right.
It makes no sense. None.
This
is what I would expect the line to be if Oregon had won the first 2 games by 40.
Right.
Yeah.
Is Oregon State 2-0?
Yeah. Makes no sense.
It's crazy.
Weird line.
Well, I mean, so Rico, you're taking Oregon State.
I'm still taking Oregon State.
You're taking Oregon State.
Yeah.
Yeah, Oregon State beat Idaho State 38-15 and San Diego State 21-0. Crazy. Okay. Apple Cup.
Who'd you take?
Out West. I took the over 50. But I agree with you, Dave. I just can't. I lost last week with Oregon minus 19, and I'm just not going to do it again. I can't. I saw it with my eyeballs. I can't do it. But if I had to gun my head, I would take Oregon because it makes no sense.
None.
But that I did my it makes no sense game last week with Oregon when I took them minus 19 against Boise. I thought that line was crazy, and then it turned out to be correct. So that's why I can't do it. Yeah,
and I'm doing something stupid because I'm like that Arizona Kansas State makes no sense, and I still fell into the trap. So now I'm sometimes taking the traps and sometimes not. That's not good. I feel like you had to go all one way or the other. Whatever.
1 foot in, 1 foot out. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Apple Cup, Washington State at Washington. Washington -5, over-under is 56. I'll start. I'm taking Washington. I think they've looked a little bit better than, again, it's like the preseason rankings, what you expect. Everyone expected them. They lost a lot to look really bad. They've looked pretty competent. So I'm going to take Washington -5 at home.
Thursday Night Football is back, and it's only on Prime Video. This Thursday, it's the Buffalo Bills taking on the Miami Dolphins. Join Al Michaels, Kirk Herbstreit, and Kaylee Hartung for this high-powered AFC East showdown. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern with football's best party. Thursday Night Football tonight, live from Miami.
It's a college show. I won't talk about your quarterback.
What were you going to say? 1-0.
He stinks.
1-0. I'm not apologizing for 1-0.
Me neither. We're 1-0.
Not a Prime member, not a problem. Simply sign up for a 30-day free trial, and you can cancel at any time. We'll be streaming this game. Frank's going to be involved. It's a big-time game. AFC East, Dolphins, Bills, a lot of offense. It's the Bills and the Dolphins at 7 p.m. Eastern on Thursday Night Football, and it's on Prime Video. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime for details.
I think I'd rather my quarterback than your
Congrats
quarterback.
to 1-0. Congrats to 1-0.
Congrats.
Congrats to 1-0. 1-0 crew. Rico, are you in the 1-0?
You gotta tell him he can't run backwards. This is the NFL. Like you just
Listen,
run straight backwards. When you run straight backwards, you're not playing UCLA anymore. You're not playing Cal anymore. These are paid guys.
Did you watch the game when the defensive tackle decides to just blow up the center who had a terrible, terrible game? It's pretty tough. You don't have any. That was a 0-second chance for him.
So now the offensive line can get blamed, but when Shador
well,
does it,
no.
breaks loose.
I have done like 5 shows in the last 3 days and said Caleb Williams played bad. There's no sugarcoating. He played bad. You're talking about a specific play where the center got completely blown up.
Yeah, but
Caleb Williams played bad.
Okay.
I'm not blaming the offensive line. Caleb Williams played bad. You're talking about a specific play, and I'm telling you what happened.
I just want it on the record again. I hope I'm wrong that he's a bust.
No, you don't. You want him to be a bust bad.
No, I don't.
So bad.
I don't.
That's all you want. You want it so bad.
No, I don't.
You go to sleep at night and you say a little prayer that Caleb Williams will be a bust.
I checked Justin Fields' stats versus your guy. I did do that, but I do not want him to be bust. I don't want Caleb to be bust.
Caleb Williams and Justin Fields had 20 offensive drives combined, and they scored 0 touchdowns. Fun times. Who are you taking in the Washington State game? It's a college show.
Same issue I have with this game. I'm going to take – I hate the game. I mean, I haven't seen a play of Washington State.
Get a good quarterback, good little running quarterback.
I'll take Washington State at home.
Rico?
I would take the over. I think Washington State can score. I liked what I saw. I'm going to take the over in that game.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll take the over.
Even though Washington State wasn't that your mortal last week?
That was.
Yeah.
I know.
And
but
can I get
scored.
a little credit for being a
jumped
rider?
in. Yes, you jumped in.
I added that to my card.
37 points in the first half. We were on pace.
Wait,
Slowed
how many?
down.
How many points in the first half?
Pretty sure it was 37 in the first half.
You sure? I went to sleep because I was like, this sucks, and I shouldn't have.
Yeah, it was 20. It was 27-10. 37 points in the first half.
And then they just didn't score again.
What was the final?
They had 37-16.
It was bad. It was tough, and I jumped in the hole.
Yes.
Dave. I added it to my card at like
it's the worst.
8:30 p.m. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna jump in this hole of Rico's, and I'm gonna watch this game, and and then I lost sleep over it. Sucks. Okay, so you have Washington State in this?
Yes.
Or no, you have the over. You're going back to the over.
Back to the over.
Okay. Last game in the rivalry games, backyard brawl, Pitt and West Virginia. Pitt had an insane comeback win against Cincinnati. So Pitt is +2 at home, over under 60.5.
I'll take Pitt at home.
I'm going to take Pitt in the over. So I'm going to take Pitt +2 and over 60.5.
I'll take West Virginia, total coin flip. Won't be betting the game in real life.
Total 63 now.
63? I just looked it up a second ago. Damn. All right, 63. I looked these up before we started. Something happened.
They're moving.
It's moving. All right, I'll take 63. Over 63. Is it Pitt still +2?
Yes.
Okay. What do you got on this, Dave?
I'm taking West Virginia, but I hate the game.
Okay. Let's get to our cards then. If you hate the game, let's see the ones you love. Dave, you start with your card.
So, are we allowed to do mortals on Friday?
Jack?
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Yes.
Okay. I'm debating that. UNLV +7 against Kansas. I like this UNLV team. Kansas lost. They'll be at home, but this to me is a pick'em game. Trap, I fell into it. Arizona +7.5 over in that game. Alabama -16 against Wisconsin. They crush them. I think South Carolina, LSU, I think is not good. So I like South Carolina at home +7. I think they can win that game. Purdue +10 at home against Notre Dame. I think Purdue can win that game. Florida at home +4 against A&M. I think Florida can win that game.
I like that. That's 4.5, Dave.
4.5 now. That Oregon I took, which is a trap. I like Tulane +13.5 against Oklahoma on the road. I think that's going to be a close game. Oklahoma looked like trash last week, and these teams are looking like trash. Where I don't think they can just like boop, turn it on. I think there's something wrong with these teams.
Kind of like Michigan.
That was mean.
Well, no, that wasn't mean. I just said I did the same thing he did with me with the Shador and the Caleb Williams.
Michigan.
Kind of like Michigan.
Michigan is not going to turn it on and be better next week. They may be better by week 9, but yes, they're not going to be good. They're going to be a slow grind to get better. Got to coach them up. Got to do all this stuff.
Finally got a coach under contract. Congratulations.
Thank you. UTSA at Texas. Texas -35. Texas is the real deal. They're going to crush this team.
They're very good.
Colorado State. I like Colorado State +7 at home over 58.5. I think Colorado State can win this game. It'll be a close game. Elio says their entire starting lineup turned down huge NIL deals. And then Indiana on the road beats UCLA. They're -3, which that line should rewind the clock and expect Indiana to be a 3-point favorite on the road at UCLA. You'd be like, no chance. They are. UCLA is horrible. Indiana, that's my card.
Rico.
UNLV Kansas over 57. Buffalo -4.5. A&M -4.5. Colorado State +7 or 7.5. What is it, Jack? Take Colorado State plus the points. Colorado State plus the points.
You're grabbing halves everywhere right now.
Slow down, Rico.
UNLV Kansas is 58.
58. Okay. I had the same thing you wrote down. You were off by 3. I'm off by 1.
Okay.
Buffalo -4.5. A&M -4.5. Colorado State plus the 7 or 7.5, whatever it is, and Air Force plus 15.5 against Baylor. I think Baylor's. I don't love what I see out of Baylor, and I think the option can fuck with you. They'll stay within the game. Air Force.
Okay. I have the bets already. We said for the main card. I'm with Dave on Indiana -3. UNLV Kansas over 58. I have Mississippi Wake over 64.5. I'm also going to be on Purdue +10. I had NIU last week. I wish I had the money line. I had them +28.5 or 29. Notre Dame does not have an offense that can win by a lot. Like, they just don't.
If that field goal went in, that would have been the greatest rob job in the history of college football.
Ever.
That spot was a yard off. A yard. I don't care if you're the refs. You have to change it in the booth. I don't care if it's so obvious that he got the first down. It was
so obvious.
Unbelievable.
So obvious. I also have Appalachian State. What is that over now? App State
missed Clemson last
over
week.
60.5. That was bad.
That was a list game.
That was bad, what I did with that Clemson game. That was a really bad ad. I took the under, and it was over in the first quarter. Over 52.5, and it was over in the first quarter. So I was saying, like, when people are coming after me for my Panthers pick, I had a worse pick in that weekend.
Yeah.
Maryland, Virginia over 57.5.
Another thing that's an issue, I sort of bit my tongue, and now, you know when you sort of bite your tongue, it's just a matter of time till you get it again, and then you're fucked for a week?
Yes.
I'm in that phase, and I have Pizza Fest coming up, so it's like a disaster.
Rico.
Train. Yeah, he's going.
He's going.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him.
Oh.
Both sessions?
No, I'm going to the night session.
No, you'll be at both sessions, right?
I was going to the night session.
Oh, not the day session?
Both.
I got tickets for the night session.
Well, no, you have tickets for both.
Yeah, you have tickets for both.
So you'll be at both?
I'll overlap the day. Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
When's the day session? When's the night session, Dave?
Is it like 3 and 6? I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, I was going
I gotta
for
look at
6.
them.
But Rico will be at both.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing them.
Yeah, at both.
Yes.
Love that, Rico. Okay. Mortals. The records. Zoopy and Jack are both 2-0. Oh, and Ebo. All three of them are 2-0. Bubba is 0-2. Everyone else is 1-1.
I'm going Alabama, Wisconsin under.
I like
50
that
and a
pick.
half.
I like that pick. Zoopy.
I'm going Tulane plus 13.5.
Okay. Who are they playing?
Oklahoma.
Okay. Jack.
Missouri. I think they're going to kill BC.
Oh. Okay. Ebo.
Georgia State Vandy over 46.5.
Deep in the book. Deep in the book.
That's my card. I'm going to take UCF minus 2.5 at TCU. That will be my mortal. So that will be in the parlay. Since we all lost, I think we just run it back. And then, or should we make it? No, we'll run it back because one of us always has to be in it. And then if one loses, we'll start swapping people in. Rico.
Yeah, I'm going to take Bama minus the 16 against Whiskey.
You jerk. I'm going to the game.
I know, man, but I just think it's I think it's a bloodbath. So
Okay. I can't wait for us to win this game. I'm gonna
All right.
I'm gonna be
if
in
you
the
do,
locker
if
room
you're gonna cover, I hope you win
shitting
outright.
on you.
Then,
Dave.
'cause I don't want them to just not cover.
Colorado State plus 7 at home against Colorado. Rivalry game. There's bad blood. It was close last year. Colorado may win, but this is going to go down to the wire. It should be a pick 'em.
Okay. Anything else? Good
I have
pick 'em football show.
Oregon State,
Oh, Bubba.
16.5.
You have Oregon State 16.5. Okay. Anything else? Good football show. Keep it clean.
Excited. I like the week this week. I may try to get DraftKings. Jack, want to put this in for me? A Dave Portnoy underdog outright special.
Wisconsin?
Nope. Colorado State, UNLV, South Carolina. 3 dogs, all outright. Just sprinkle it on. Can you do that? Just sprinkle it for me.
Yes.
Love it.
Thank you.
All right. Good show, boys. See everyone next week.
See ya.
All right.